What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Morning Mayhem. It's your boy Chris coming at you with the first episode of 2025. Super excited to be here with you all today. Hope you're excited to be here as well. So we just kicked the year off, and it's already a little bit of madness and mayhem, so to speak. You know, we ended the year that way, started the year that way. I wonder if it's going to get any better. But guys, hey, look, if you are returning visitors, if you are subscribers or followers, and you are back checking out the channel now that we are back, I want to thank you for coming back and being here with us. If this is your first time and you just happen to stumble across the channel, maybe I'll earn that sub today. If you notice this guy right here, we are still on our march to 1,000 subs on YouTube. We've been growing really quickly there. Really excited about that. Last I checked, we were just over 100 away, 120, 100 and something in that ballpark. So yeah, if you enjoy the show, consider subscribing. If you're watching on another platform, follow, sub, whatever it is on that one, like, all that good stuff. You know, help a brother out. But yeah, that's something we're trying to do this year, is get to 1,000 subs. Really excited about that. Next month is February, and that will be our anniversary. That will be our 1-year anniversary of doing this show with you wonderful, amazing people. If you are back watching and you haven't yet subscribed, you are about 80% of the people that are watching the videos. So, you know, if all you guys subbed, or even a small portion of you subbed, we'd go ahead and knock this out, and I'd be eternally grateful. But again, guys, I do want to earn that sub. Don't just do it to, you know, add a check next to somebody's names like, okay, I supported these guys, unless you just really want to. But yeah, if you just happen to stumble across, I welcome you here too. Hope you enjoy the show. Hope you are informed and entertained possibly by something I covered today. But yeah, let's talk about the new year. So it's 2025. Obviously, you'll notice some things already start to look a little bit different here. There's gonna be a few things that look a little different. The format may change slightly, I would say, on how we do things here on the show from a week-to-week basis. Now, the way I'll go through each individual segment will transition a little bit. We have some new segments we're going to be rolling out. Speaking of which, new changes. Boom, let me pop that little guy up. PUREBLOOD Media Group. So PUREBLOOD Media Group is a group that is fantastic. I'm going to actually point these guys out to you on their site real quick. Pull that up. So this is PUREBLOOD Media Group. It's a I won't say a coalition or a congregation or whatever of just content creators that are coming together to spread truth and facts. And how do I know that? Well, as soon as you go to PureBlood Media Group's website, I live down in the South. We got Pure Mud down here too. But as soon as you go to PureBlood Media Group's website, the very first thing you get is their news aggregator. It's got all kinds of news stories here. You can go through, find some more. But every single one of these news articles that are being put on this site are triple fact checked, triple sourced. So it will not make it on this aggregator unless it has been verified by at least 3 different reliable sources to be factual. You're not going to get that anywhere else. I've already been using PureBlood Media site for a little while at the end of last year, once I found out about them, to pull some of my sources, because I know I'm getting legit fact-checked sources. And I don't mean Facebook fact-checked. You with me? Not only that, but they also have their TV guide. The TV guide has a list of so many of their content creators. When they're going live, you'll see it here. You can scroll up and down. Several creators here. Handy News is the one that really got me going on this. Found Handy News, started watching Handy News, became friends with Handy News, streamed with Handy News, and they kind of pulled me into the PureBlood Media Group and partnering with them. Of course, watched The Drunken Rocky, Darth Jason. We've raided into some of these shows before. Red Pill, of course, Pastor Shadley and Shadley. And there's more shows on here. It only lists the ones that have show live streams going on that day and during those times. So really cool. It's a really great opportunity to, you know, network and work together with some people to, again, spread awareness, spread truth, spread facts, you know, really get out there and do what it is that I've been, you know, working at doing, and just being a positive voice in this movement of truth and battling mainstream media. So super excited to be partnered with these guys here, and links to the site and the aggregator, the TV guide, whatever, all that's going to be down in the show notes below. Go check them out. And instead of like, going to Google or, wherever you get your news articles from that you read daily or whatever, check these guys out first. Again, triple checked for facts, triple sourced, all that good stuff to make sure that you are getting something that is actually factually accurate. Gotta love that. Absolutely gotta love that. So again, that's going to be down in the show notes below. Let's see what else. We kicked the year off this year already, even though this is the first show, technically, of the Morning Mayhem. We did kick off because we had a Monday. We had Monday Night Mayhem live. So some of you guys have been tuning into that. That is the only live stream that I host, and that is Monday Night Mayhem. It is a live stream. We do it the first Monday of every month. We started that just back in like September, October, somewhere in that ballpark. So we've only had like 4 or 5 maybe. And they've gone really, really well. Had some great panels every single time. This past week, the one that we did Monday is no different. Fantastic panel. February's is already put together again. That is basically right on the anniversary of this show existing. So got a very special panel I put together. It's a smaller one, but a little closer to home. Some folks that have been really close to the channel since its inception and the kind of the beginning growth of it, so to speak. So super excited to have that one. Links to all that will be forthcoming as we get closer. We just started January, so it's going to be a little bit. But yeah, so we did kick off the year with the Monday Night Mayhem live. And actually before that, over on Sean at Third Railify, on Third Railify's channel, we had a show this past Saturday, and we actually had Jake Chansley, which is the QAnon shaman, American shaman, whatever, mainstream media or whatever calls him. We did have him on this past Saturday night. And man, that was a wild conversation. Fantastic conversation. I'll make sure I leave a link to that down in the show notes below. Not only that, but once you go over there, definitely follow Third Railify's channel because he is amazing. And aside from that, I'm on his show pretty much every single Saturday night unless something comes up or he has somebody way more important than I am, which is pretty much all the time. But he still lets me hang out. So anyways, Saturdays, 10 p.m. Eastern time on his channel. I'm usually there. Go check it out from last week with the shaman. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, so plenty of things rolling out, and we're continuing this year. We've got the other shows that I'll pop up on, like Third Railify's, or I may pop up on Handy's or Lose Views podcast. A number of random shows that I popped up on this past year. It was really cool. We got our Monday Night Mayhem every month, the first Monday of every month. Sometimes we may have some random live streams pop up. We did one so far, I think just one. Went to church, got moved by a piece of scripture that was read for the Advent candle lighting, and came home, did a little study on that for about an hour and a half or whatever it may have been, and rated into the Common Nerd, which is awesome streamer, and on Sundays he goes through and does a little Bible study as well. And I'll leave a link to him down below too, because I really, really like him. And in fact, we're going to try to get him on the show coming up, not next month, but maybe the following month on that next Monday Night Mayhem. Then let's see, we are going to try to have some more guests on the show. I've started doing some shorts or reels or whatever you want to call them. I've started doing that. Everyone seems to like it, so I'll do those when I can. And of course, I'll do more reactions. I do have some reactions already cut together. I got to release them. So under Mayhem Reacts, I'll be cutting out some more reaction videos to trailers and music videos and all kinds of good stuff like that. You guys know I'm a nerd on all that. So as we get going here, hit that like button below, share it if you love it. And again, if I earn it, consider hitting that subscribe button or follow, depending on what platform you're on. But, if I earn it, check it out. So let's go ahead and look at what is on today's show. Democrats vote against America. And big shocker on that one. Is it safe to start criticizing the left? We're going to look at how comedy may be coming back around, or maybe it's not really. So we'll take a look at that. Someone else thinks Jimmy Kimmel is dumb. Probably my favorite segment. Trump calls out the California wildfires, talks about some more stuff he said in the past, some things that he wants to do. And then lastly, the new Superman movie is considered a mess. So yeah, so looking forward to covering all that with you over the course of this show. And we'll try to knock it out real quick. But first, one of our newest additions. Let's take a look at our clip of the week.
I decided to open up my DHS mail. Yeah, they took my food stamps.
And why did DHS take away your food stamps?
They took my food stamps from the thing that happened last week with the pop cans and dumping them out in the Walmart parking lot to get cash, like I've always done.
So you always get soda pop and dump it in the Walmart parking lot to get cash. Okay.
The cop said he could have arrested me, but he wasn't going to, but he had to report it to the state. I didn't think he could actually report it.
Why would you not think that a police officer would do their job and report you to the What?
They are making me repay everything from the last year.
Good.
$23,678 they want me to pay back.
Don't care. You shouldn't have been dumping out those soda pop cans in the Walmart parking lot to get money back like you always do.
I can't afford groceries with the food stamps that they were giving me. How do they expect me to pay back that?
Sounds like you're not good with money management, and honestly, you were awarded government-assisted aid, so now that you have to pay it back, really just seems like a you problem, to be honest. Literally, be so for real.
A few moments later.
The cops are at my fucking house right now. They decided to press charges for welfare fraud.
Oh no, if it isn't the consequences of our own actions.
For me buying all those Walmart 12 packs and dumping them out for cash because I needed cash.
Yeah, maybe don't use the government-assisted aid you get for food stamps to buy soda cans that you're going to empty out, smash up, and go get cash for in front of a police officer in a public space such as the Walmart parking lot. Girl?
Now they're outside my door and they have a warrant and they said they're going to break down the door if I don't come out.
Sounds like you should go open that door because I know you probably can't afford to replace it.
Guess I'm going to jail, guys.
What gets me is that she actually feels bad for herself. Like, she feels bad that she is getting a consequence as a result of her actions for buying soda, dumping it out, and trying to get cash for it when a police officer saw her and you're not supposed to be doing that. Honestly, be so for real.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. I had a good time chuckling at that one. Actually, the first part of that was over. I saw it over on Handy News. It's his morning. It's my lunch because of the time difference. But I saw it on the show the other day, and I was like, that is too funny. While he was showing that, I actually looked up that TikToker and found that second part to it and sent that over to him. But I thought that was too funny, so I had to include that in this one too. But yeah, clip of the week is something I want to do, whether it's something silly and funny, or something informative, or something just interesting, and a way for me to interact with you guys a little more, because I love the live streams. I get to interact with the chats like nonstop, and it's awesome. But with this pre-recorded show, I don't really get to interact with you guys that much unless you hop down in the comments or hit me up on X or one of the other social media sites. That being said, I will be posting on X, usually Monday morning, a call for clips to be submitted. So between now and then, if you find any clips, videos, or they can be vertical, they can be horizontal, doesn't matter. If you find anything interesting like that, go ahead and bookmark it and save it, hold on to it. And then when you see me post on Mondays, throw it down in the comments below, and I will go through them. I'll pick them out, and I'll make sure I give you a shout out if I pick your clip and show it on the show. Just want to interact with you guys a little bit more. I think that'll be really fun. Let me know what you think. All right, first one we're going to get into today is close to home. Not only because I'm American, but also because I'm a Georgia boy. And Laken Riley was a Georgia girl. We all remember Laken Riley, who was, I almost don't even want to say it, but she was taken out by, an illegal alien that was here. And it's incredibly sad. Joe Biden couldn't say her name at the State of the Union address. Marjorie Taylor Greene, love her or hate her, she's strong. She's a Georgia girl. She was representing and really pushed to get something done. And so that takes me to this article here, where we look at, like I said, Democrats vote against America, because that's what this is. This comes from the Daily Mail. It says Democrats slammed after 159 vote against Republican bill allowing ICE to deport illegal migrants who steal. This isn't like widespread open deportations. Just, get them out of here. Let's at least start with the criminals. Let's start identifying them. Because the illegal alien that killed Laken Riley had already been stopped for breaking the law. Not to mention they were here because they broke the law and crossed the border illegally. Because that's a thing. Can't wait for Tom Homan to take control. Anyways, we'll read through this. I don't know if we'll go through the whole thing or not. House Democrats are getting skewered after 159 voted against the Laken Riley Act, a bill that would more easily allow illegal migrant criminals to be deported. The legislation, which passed with bipartisan support 264 to 159, was named to honor the late Laken Riley, 22, a college student who was murdered by repeat criminal Jose Ibarra. I'm thinking I said the name right, but if I didn't, I don't care. Screw that guy. Ibarra, a Venezuelan national, had entered the U.S. illegally and committed numerous crimes before eventually murdering the nursing student in February 2024. Ibarra was arrested in New York for endangering a child and was cited in Georgia for shoplifting, but wasn't detained by Immigration and Customs Enforcement before Riley's murder, despite being known to authorities. He was later convicted in November of 10 charges, including murder, kidnapping, aggravated assault with intent to rape, and more for Riley's death. I mean, again, I hate saying this, and I know some of these platforms I'm on may want to censor what I'm saying, and they have every right to, I guess, because it's their platforms and they break their own rules and do whatever they want to do. But I don't want to hold back. I want to make sure that we cover this story, and as nasty as it is, as despicable as it is, we gotta put truth out there. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to downplay it any more than I have to. If something is ever too graphic, I will try not to pull it back. This is not a show for kids. I do try to, present things in such a way that if a kid stumbled into the room, or if you're someone who's not, into a lot of vulgarity or perversion or whatever, you can watch and enjoy the show. But at the same time, we have to expose evil for what it is, and that this is pure evil right here. Let's go on the Laken Riley Act requires ICE to detain migrants who have been charged with theft or other crimes. Again, that's the caveat. It just can't be, all right, you already broke into the country illegally, we'll let you slide on that one. Yeah, no. Once you break the law again, so this is doing something else on top of not already supposed to be here, then we get to detain you, right? Laken Riley Act requires ICE to detain migrants who have been charged with theft and other crimes. It also enables individual states to sue the federal government if it or its citizens are harmed by immigration-related actions. On Tuesday, 159 Democrats voted against the Laken Riley Act. What in the world? 159 Democrats voted against the Laken Riley Act. Why would you? And you know when it's coming and you feel it and you're like, just come on.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
That was unprofessional. I apologize. What in the world? 159 Democrats voted against the Laken Riley Act. Why would you be in favor? I I don't like the way the Daily Mail formats their pages. Just throwing that out there. Why would you be in favor of rapists and murderers? Representative Tim Burchett, Republican Tennessee, said on X after the vote. Look at her. Cute, adorable, innocent, Lake and Riley. It's heartbreaking. I mean, she was a nursing student. She's a Georgia girl, you know, because we have the best. And, yeah, she was taken away. She was taken from us. The world will not get to experience everything this young woman had to offer. Why? Well, because an illegal alien came over here and did what he did, and because our government agencies failed to act. Now, we may not be able to stop every illegal alien from coming over here. I get that. But if we encounter them, we have the option, the opportunity here to actually do something. Kind of had that before, but now with this act, it's pushing that, it's promoting that, and for the life of me, I don't understand why anybody would oppose it. Now, I know sometimes bills can have hidden stuff in there. I don't believe this one did, but it's not like the Recovery Act or what was it, Inflation Recovery or Reduction or something where it had like only 20% going to, it was the border bill. Only 20% was going to our border. 80% was going to like other countries' borders and Ukraine and Israel and Afghanistan and all kinds of stuff. Stupid. In this particular case, I think it was a pretty clean cut bill, which it tends to be more so when it comes from the right. There he is. I mean, that's, he knows. All right, moving on. Rep. Tom Tiffany from Wisconsin similarly posted on X, today we passed the Lake and Riley Act to ensure illegal aliens who commit theft offenses like her killer are deported before they can reoffend. Shamefully, 159 Democrats voted against it. Speaker Mike Johnson noted the importance of the bill after it passed in a press release. Lake and Riley was brutally murdered by an illegal alien that President Biden and the Democrats let into this country with their open border policy, Johnson stated. It is hard to believe after countless horrific stories like Lakin's, any House Democrats would vote against deporting illegal aliens who commit violent crimes against American citizens. I guess that's the visual there. You can see the counts come in. You'd think after all these years they'd have a different layout or formatting or font. I guess that's just C-SPAN. But 159 just did, demonstrating some Democrats have ignored the loud and clear message from voters in this election who demanded secure borders and deportation of violent illegal aliens and laws that put the safety and security of the American people first. I think that's pretty much it there. I won't go on. Oh, I can't stand Raskin. Can't stand that guy. Anyways, that's the gist of it, guys. 159 Democrats voted against this. I want to be a channel where Democrats can watch it, Republicans can watch it. I'll step on toes for both. I do lean more to the right if that hasn't been apparent already. But truth leans more to the right, as many people have pointed out. So when I share facts and I share observations in the world, they have a right-leaning bias to them by nature. So here's the thing, though, with the Democrats that watch the show, if you're watching the show and you're left-leaning, if you're a Democrat, if you're a progressive, a liberal, and libertarian, an independent, whatever, I'm going to bring you facts. I'm going to bring you what I can bring you. If I say something wrong, let me know down in the comments. Every single article, fact, data, whatever I use, I will always do my best to cite it down in the show notes below. I should have a link to everything that I've shown you down in the show notes below. You can go check that out yourself and make sure I didn't skip over something there at the end or manipulate it in any kind of way. Hold me accountable. I appreciate that. Again, something you're not going to get on mainstream media. And again, something I really appreciate about these guys right here, Pure Blood Media Group. Triple fact checked articles that are on their site, sourced out to make sure they are actually at least 3 sources backing the legitimacy. Speaks volumes when you have people that are adamantly working to make sure that they are bringing you truth, facts, not misinformation or disinformation, versus others that just have their own agenda, their own propaganda. But what do you guys think about that? I mean, that it's heartbreaking as it is what happened to Lake and Riley. You would think that maybe we could do something about it, and it looks like 159 Democrats said they didn't want to. Let's take another look here at what's going on in the world of comedy, so to speak. So the Golden Globes were Sunday night, I think. This year's host was Nikki Glaser. Glaser. I think she always says it like Glazer, like an Z. Who I think can be funny. I've seen her do some of the roasts and whatnot, and she's pretty good on those. And it has a good, delivery and everything like that. I'll pull this up and then I'll show you a clip, but this is from Variety. If I can get it. There we go. This is from Variety. Nikki Glaser's cut Golden Globes jokes skewer Alec Baldwin, Luigi Mangione, whatever his name is, and more. The wild robot is Nicole Kidman after 2 white wines. Not the best headline. Hey, there's Nikki Glaser and her Golden Globes. All right. All right. Nikki Glaser earned widespread acclaim for her hosting duties at the 2025 Golden Globes, where her monologue poked fun at Diddy, Ben Affleck, and Timothy Chalamet's mustache. He does look like a child, doesn't he? But what about the jokes that didn't make it to air? And Glaser appeared on Howard Stern's Sirius XM radio. He drives me nuts. The morning after the awards ceremony to share some of the harsher punchlines she decided not to say on live television. Well, first, let's take a look at what she did say on live television. And I've kind of cut out, I guess, the highlights. This is her highlight reel of edginess and pushing the envelope.
Oh my God, it was so good. I mean, that movie was more sexually charged than Diddy's credit card. I mean, seriously. Oh, no, I know, I'm sorry. I'm upset too. The after party's not gonna be as good this year, but we have to move on. I did not know much about Wicked going into this year because I had friends in high school, but I loved it. I loved it so much. Everyone loved Wicked. I loved Wicked. My boyfriend loved Wicked. My boyfriend's boyfriend really loved Wicked. It was so much fun. It's just it's so much fun seeing a musical in the theater. And, some theaters had issues with the musicals. At Wicked, some people complained that the movie was ruined by people singing, And then at Joker 2, some people complained that the movie was ruined by the images on the screen and the sounds that accompanied them. But I'm sorry, Joker 2. Where's their table? Oh, they're not here. Selena Gomez is here. Double nominee tonight for Amelia Perez and Only Murders. And she's here tonight with her new fiance, Benny Blanco. Yes. And Benny Blanco is here because of the genie who granted him that wish. Man, lucky guy. I really think this is gonna be a very memorable evening, and maybe not even in the way that you think. I predict 5 years from now, when you're watching old clips of this show on YouTube, you'll see someone in one of the crowd shots and you'll go, oh my God, that was before they caught that guy. We could be making history tonight and we don't even know with who. He knows, or she. It could be a woman, I think 100% of the time it's a man, but it could be a woman. You're all so famous, so talented, so powerful. I mean, you could really do anything. I mean, except tell the country who to vote for, but it's okay. You'll get them next time.
So admittedly, there were some pretty good ones in there, I think, especially that last one, which, took a stab at celebrities, which 2024 took a stab at celebrities and the validity and the importance of the celebrity. So I really like that one. But I'll just point out a couple of jokes that I thought were pretty good in here that she talked to Howard Stern about. It says, when it came to Diddy, the disgraced music mogul accused of rape and sex trafficking, Glaser had this joke cut from the monologue. This is the last time all of you will be in the same room together until the Diddy trial. Why? We had another Diddy mention that worked better, and you only get one Diddy mention. You're also accusing the people in the room of being involved in that, and they might turn on you. which again, that was more edgy. That would have been something that like Ricky Gervais would have said. Let's see. Another one was, where'd it go? I didn't think that one was funny. Perhaps Glazer's smartest decision was not telling an Alec Baldwin Rust joke as it pertained to the death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins. Michael Keaton was so great in Beetlejuice, and Alec Baldwin sadly did not come back to play a ghost because he was too busy making them. Please know that I know that was not nice, Glazer stressed. It's such a great joke, but it's just too mean. I mean, it's mean because of what happened to Helena Hutchins. It's not mean because you're calling Alec Baldwin out on it, to be fair. And Beetlejuice was entertaining. Wasn't the original, but it was entertaining nonetheless. But yeah, so it feels like maybe pulling some punches while trying to get up to the line. I don't know. But I tell you, I didn't watch it, but I did hear about it. So I pulled up her monologue, cut those clips out, and it kind of reminded me of what I did see, which was Whitney Cummings, who I tend to like very much. And she was, I don't remember, the creator or involved with Two Broke Girls, which was a great show. Really enjoyed that. Kat Dennings is just, love her. But yeah, Whitney Cummings has been around for a while. It's a very established comedian. And yeah, she went off a little bit at the New Year's CNN thing or whatever. So here's some highlights from that.
Documentaries finally realized the only way to make money is to just make them about cheerleaders. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleader doc showed the girls being treated horribly, underpaid, crying. I thought I'd open a video on Hunter Biden's laptop. 2024 election fried our brains. The Democrats couldn't hold a primary because they were too busy holding a body upright. Are we still rolling? Am I off?
Go for it.
It was amazing that the pro-choice party didn't give their voters one when it came to the presidential candidate. Kamala was forced on us so hard you'd think she was patented by Pfizer or Moderna, whichever one's, oh God. Andy just gave me a very scary look.
No!
I think we all agree on a lot of things. And since I only have a minute left live on Establishment Media, why don't we just say a bunch of things that we know that they'll never cover? Okay, ready, go. Trump Shooter didn't have any silverware in his house. No one thought that was weird? Are we still rolling? Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia put money into Disney, so just know there won't be any girl characters in the next Cars movie. Are we still rolling? This is wild. Okay, why have so many presidents' chefs died? Weird. Boy Scout of America, they renamed itself Scouting America. You know who else changed their name? Sean Combs. Just saying. Let's learn something in 2025. I can't believe you guys are still letting me go. This is amazing. I love CNN. Please stop me, Andy, because I will just keep going.
Happy New Year, Whitney Cummings.
Am I still streaming?
Yes.
This is amazing.
So yeah, some of that was absolutely great. I mean, holding up a dead body and Hunter Biden's laptop. I mean, awesome. Again, I've been a fan of Whitney Cummings for a while. Really enjoy her and her work. So, good for her. But again, something I want to point out is as much as they went to the line, I don't know if they crossed them. And if they did, is it too little, too late? Is it safe now? And it's not really edgy to do that. I do want to cover this real quick before I mention something about all of this. And this comes from a friend of the show, Hollywood and Toto, from Christian Toto. It says, Whitney Cummings, the left became the party of censorship. No kidding. Comedian shreds Kamala Harris's presidential run, clapter-seeking comics. Let's see. We'll just hit some of the intro here a little bit, and I'll link this down in the show notes again for you guys to check out. Definitely go support Hollywood and Toto. Christian Toto is doing a phenomenal job, not just on the website here, but Christian's also started a podcast, a video podcast, and I'll link that in the show notes down below too. He does a phenomenal job, and everyone who works on his team that's writing and doing all this does a really, really, really good job. So go check Hollywood and Toto out, and Christian's channel that launched this past year. But it says, Whitney Cummings wants us to know she has not been red-pilled. The comedian made that official on her latest podcast episode, the first since she roasted key Democrats on CNN's New Year's Eve coverage, which we just watched. She doesn't label her political views, but she also agrees with the Democratic Party's core tenets as she describes them. Racism, bad. Respect women, good. Free speech, yes, please. Okay, so it's not the Democrats' core tenets, or at least it's not anymore. Definitely not. In fact, I would say that's the Republicans' core tenets. Racism, bad. We're not trying to segregate anybody or call anybody out or, pick somebody over somebody else because of the color of their skin for a job or, entry into college or anything like that. Respect women. Yeah. Not putting men in women's sports. That's a good one. Not allowing men to go into women's restrooms and locker rooms. I'd say that's respecting women, protecting women. Free speech. Yes. Democrats definitely are the party of censorship, as she said earlier. She said what she didn't officially say, but implied repeatedly, the modern Democratic Party no longer lives up to that branding. Boom, pow. If you love your party, you have to be able to criticize it. I don't really take sides. I always thought of myself as a pretty liberal person. I don't think the left is as liberal as it used to be. The left became the party of censorship. My body, my choice, but you have to take this vaccine. And my body, my choice, the pro-choice party, but you don't have a choice in your candidate, she said, repeating the line from the CNN roast. I'm not an expert on politics, but I am an expert on hypocrisy. I was raised by hypocrites. I've dated hypocrites. I know hypocrisy when I see it, she said about her CNN segment. So for me, I didn't think I was being political. I was just pointing out hypocrisies across the board, which I appreciate because I will do that on the right as well. I do that on both sides, something that I can say that myself, Sean a Third Railify, Robert of the Washcast, Handy News, Lose Views, Front Porch Conservative, all these people that you have seen me associated with, we will call out people on the left as well as the right and hold our own side accountable because that's what we want, the truth. We want facts. We want to point out anything and everything because the goal is for us to move forward, not stay stagnant or move backwards. We want to move forward. We want to be progressive in that sense, but we want to do it in a way that's respectable to each other and honorable. Again, holding ourselves accountable to that level. She said that's home court advantage. She cracked up about CNN's liberal bias. There's nothing risky or dangerous about that. It bothers me when comics say stuff that's self-righteous and they get applause when they're being fake brave. She added, if I was going to roast Trump, I'd have to do that on Fox News. And I already roasted Trump, she said, alluding to the 2011 Trump roast on Comedy Central. And again, they got the video of that and some more. But go check out Hollywood and Toto. Again, the full article will be linked down below. You can go read it. And I do encourage you to do that. Support independent journalists like Christian Toto and his team. But something I was going to say about all this is it really that edgy? Is it really pushing the boundaries? Or is it just safe to do all this now? And I think it is safe to do this now. Someone who covered it very, very well, and I will link to that video down below as well, is Chrissy Mayer. Chrissy Mayer, first of all, hilarious. Second, beautiful. Third, I mean, just calls it like she sees it. Again, kind of like us with the political game. I mean, her being a comedian, she calls it like she sees it. And I think she appreciates and respects Whitney and any of these other comedians that are out here killing it, especially the women out here, doing their thing. But at the same time, it's like, where were you at 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, when those were extremely edgy jokes? And we were saying them, like Chrissy Mayer. Chrissy was saying them. Other comedians were out here saying them. The Hodge twins are saying them. Comedian Chris Clark, who I've had on the Monday night stream, who opens for the Hodge twins and works with them on their show. And he's his own touring comedian. I mean, these people have been saying this kind of stuff for years. And just now we're starting to see some of the more mainstream comedians crack these jokes or push the envelope, so to speak. But it's almost like they've gotten the green light to do that. And I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but I will say that it's not the edgy material that some people may think it is. Whether it's them that thinks it, some of their audience that thinks it, the media that thinks it, these are jokes that we've been saying for a long time. And I say jokes because I'll make a joke from time to time, but as far as I'm concerned and some of the people that I work with are concerned, we've been spitting this truth. We've been talking about these facts and these hypocrisies for a while now. Chrissy Mayer, of course, is a comedian, so she's actually been telling the jokes, you know? So hats off to her. Love me some Chrissy Mayer. Again, I will link to the show that I'm referencing down below of Chrissy's. I watched it the other day. It was awesome because, of course, she's awesome. So go check that out. She goes into it a little bit better than I will because
I'm kind of retarded.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and move on to this this next segment here because it is probably my favorite segment that we're going to get into on today's show, and that is someone else thinks Jimmy Kimmel is dumb. So some of my most viewed videos that I have released over this past year were me kind of dunking on Jimmy Kimmel. Rightfully so, to be fair. His supporters, his shills, they came out and they came at me in the comments and they were, oh, I love Jimmy. Leave Jimmy alone. And if that's you, I welcome you back with open arms. But it's not me saying it this time. It's not me criticizing him this time, okay? It's Icon Share. Yes, Share. Love it. Let's take a look at the article. This is from Daily Beast. I guess this is called Obsessed. Their, I don't know, section, subcategory, subdomain. I don't know. It's the Daily Beast. Anyway, it says, this is so dumb. Cher suffers through Jimmy Kimmel interview. Isn't every interview with Jimmy Kimmel probably suffering? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go there. Yes, I did. All right. Do you believe it? Oh, I'm going to get sued. All right. Jimmy Kimmel had a hard time charming Cher Tuesday night when she joined his show for the first time in its 22-year history. Wait, he's been on there for 20? No. No. Anyways, 22-year history and answered some rapid fire questions about her life, telling the late night host towards the end of her interview, this is so dumb. She probably went, this is so dumb. Something like that. I can't do a share because I'm not a drag queen. During her appearance on the show to promote the second part of her book, Cher, the Memoir, Kimmel seemed to annoy the singer as she revealed she hadn't even started writing the second part of the book, which is slated to release in November. The second part of the book you have finished. Let's see. The second part of your book. Have you finished that yet? Kimmel asked. Cher responded first with only a laugh. No, I haven't even started it. She finally said, prompting Kimmel to ask, is that true? Cher gave him an icy look in response as he prodded further. You haven't even started it, he added. So it's not coming out in November. Cher hit him with a serious, yes, it is. But Kimmel continued to poke. We'll see, because that's the kind of guy he is. I think I got it queued up right here at the end where she says this is dumb, which makes me chuckle because, yeah.
Barack Obama, Tina Turner.
Oh.
Here we go.
Ray Charles. There have been quite a number.
If you could turn back time.
What? This is so dumb.
That, by the way, is going to be the title of my autobiography. Okay. What year would you turn?
Okay, that's pretty much it. Yeah, and that would be the title of his autobiography, I would say. Yeah, so that's Cher calling how dumb it is out, which, God bless her, she's doing the Lord's work right there. But you know, all these late night hosts, all of them have been getting called out lately. Kimmel, Fallon, Colbert especially. I can't remember some of their names. Sorry. Seth Meyers, I think, is one. But a lot of them have been getting called out lately. Their numbers are going down. They've been exposed as propagandist machines. The only jokes they had were Trump, 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 Trump. People are tired of it. They've been tuning out for a while now. That's why, like, Gutfeld over on Fox has been doing so good because people are sick of their crap and they're tuning into something different. But yeah, he's one of a handful, but he is one of the ones I think I despise the most. Colbert is close because I genuinely liked the Colbert Report and I liked him on The Daily Show. where apparently he was playing a character. And then when he started on his late night show, he just got in line with the Democratic, agenda propaganda machine. And it breaks my heart. I started out watching it. I watched the first episode he had and was cheering him on. And then it was really easy to see that he had shifted gears. And that sucked. So I quit watching him. It is what it is. But what do you guys think about these late night hosts? Are y'all still watching them? Do you know anybody that watches them? Who's your favorite late night host? And to be fair, I guess you can throw me in that mix because the first Monday of every month I do a late night live stream. So, I'm a late night guy too myself. But let me know if you watch them. Who's your favorite? Who's your least favorite? Come at me if you don't like Jimmy Kimmel, or if you do like Jimmy Kimmel and you heard me go after him. Down in the comments below. They are open. Bring it, bruh. Bring it. All right. Let's see what we got up next is the California wildfires. So as we get into this next segment, I definitely want to say that, the thoughts and prayers of so many are going out to the victims of the wildfires in California. This is still pretty breaking as far as where I'm at right now recording this. So I don't know what more may come out before this goes up Friday morning. But I will say that if I'm able to find any group or GoFundMe's or anything, any way for us to get involved and help out, I will put it down in the show notes below. If I find something before Friday that comes out, Samaritan's Purse, who I have applauded for the hurricane recovery. They're an organization I've worked with before for their Operation Christmas Child. They were some of the first boots on the ground during the hurricanes that came through Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, Tennessee, and are still out there doing a lot of work. And of course, they're still recovering. We're still recovering, Georgia. We've got people still recovering over here while this is going on. It's just a nightmare situation, and it breaks my heart. So I don't know, if Samaritan's Purse is there or planning on being there as well. And if so, I'll make sure I link to them so we can help them out and support them. Or if there's maybe some other organizations that are doing something, or like I said, if there's any kind of GoFundMe's or, gifts and goes or whatever, I'll try to link those down as I become knowledgeable of them and aware of them, and I'll put those down, because obviously with anything like this, even if it's only a little bit, if it's a little bit to us, it's a lot to them, and a lot of people are out of everything at this point. And I'm sure there was a substantial amount of loss of life as well, because I saw some videos and some people didn't even know they were here until they were right up on it, right outside their windows. So definitely thoughts and prayers. And I know people, and I hate to get political with this, even though we're going to because of the nature of the story here, but people on the left often will say you should do more than thoughts and prayers. School shootings, disasters like this. Oh, thoughts and prayers. Where are your thoughts and prayers? How are those thoughts and prayers working out? Look, first of all, to pray for anyone, have them in your heart and pray for them is a huge thing. People don't understand if they don't understand, and I get that. But what else can you do? You can't run out there and put your hand up and stop the fire and save lives, right? You could donate to organizations that are out there doing recovery work. You can go out there and volunteer your time to clear brush and stuff so that it can, help prevent some of this stuff. There are things that can be done for sure. But right this moment in time, where we are at with what's already happened, what could be potentially happening further down the road with this, what can you do? Little of this, little of that. Thoughts and prayers goes a long way. And I'm sick of people who, I'm sick of hearing people not understand that. I'm not sick of the people, to be clear. I understand that people don't understand, and that's fine. But for those of us that do, thoughts and prayers are huge. The prayer part especially. But still, being in the forefront of someone's mind is huge. And that allows us to have our antenna up to see opportunities to serve and help. And then praying, of course, is just something that is on a whole nother level for people who just don't understand it. And I don't want to say I'm tired of that, because I will definitely take time and explain that to anybody. The importance of prayer, what prayer really is, and all that. But yeah, thoughts and prayers to these guys. And again, that means something. So anyone out there who says it doesn't, just, I'm sorry, hit me up and we'll have a conversation. How about that? But yeah, this is an insane, absolutely insane amount of devastation. And with all the loss, it is very, very heartbreaking. So I do want to say that first going into it, because I am going to talk about some of the spin or some of the stories coming out of it a little bit of how it's being capitalized upon. Because, per usual, you never want to let a tragedy go to waste, right? You hear this all the time, within 24 hours, within 12 hours, really, it was like a school shooting. Oh, we got to get rid of guns. So why should this be any different? So let's take a look at this first article right here. I guess it's technically maybe our only article on this, but this is Politico right here. It says Trump, Musk unleash on California Democrats over wildfires. The catastrophic wildfires that tore through Los Angeles early Wednesday have quickly turned political. And you see that's just some of the devastation. I mean, it is just ruthless. There's some videos and stuff in here. I won't go through this whole article, of course, but there are some videos down here we may skip down to and play just to show the level of devastation. Again, just like when saying, what's happening to like Lake and Riley, or, what the content that are in these books that are in schools as pornographic and just the worst way. It's hard for me to want to pull punches. I mean, I want to, because I don't want to look at it. I don't want to think about it. It breaks my heart. At the same time, we've got to put it out there, and it needs to be in our face to know the level of loss, to know how devastating something really truly is. So we may, definitely click on these videos down here at the bottom. But scroll through a little bit here. It says Republicans are seizing on the catastrophic wildfires that tore through the Los Angeles area early Wednesday, blaming Democratic policies for the deadly wind-fueled conflagrations that forced tens of thousands to flee their homes. President-elect Donald Trump lashed out at Governor Gavin Newsom. Any chance to do that, I'd say go for it. On Wednesday, calling the fires virtually apocalyptic in a Truth Social post and pointing a finger at state rules protecting endangered species for limiting the amount of water that gets sent south from Northern California. We'll look at that in a little bit. I don't want to get into that too much here. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California, Trump wrote on Truth Social. He is the blame for this. Of course, I think Trump is spot on, but of course you can't ever pinpoint and blame somebody 100% for something. For it to have been as bad as it is, I mean, you had weather working against you. You had just the right elements come into play. But yes, based off of my understanding of conversations that have been had, advice given from the Trump and his administration, a lot of this could have been avoided or prevented, or it could have, reduced the amount of loss, but they didn't want to do it. So that part, I feel like we can totally blame them. But saying that, if someone is 100% to blame for the situation, we just can't do that. It says Elon Musk also piled on retweeting a comment by Libs of TikTok, criticizing a delay in building dams and adding crazy. Local Los Angeles officials said Wednesday morning the Palisades and Eaton fires had killed at least 2 people and destroyed more than 1,000 homes, businesses, and other buildings. Fires in Pacific Palisades, I don't know these names, I'm sorry guys, had burned nearly 6,000 acres and remained out of control, with a massive windstorm forecast to continue throughout the day. Yeah, those winds have been absolutely insane. Yeah, this is going to be a costly cleanup. And again, I can't even fathom the amount of human life loss. It's terrible. But I'll get down here and we'll look at some of this. Like I said, is it not on here? Maybe it's on that other article I'm thinking of. All right. Well, let's jump over here real quick then to X. Also from Libs of TikTok, they reshared it anyway. This is from Trump's Truth Social. It says, just in, Trump slams Newsom for his failed policies. And it quotes what we just read in that article. And this is what Trump truthed on his site. I'll never get used to saying that. It says, Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the water restoration declaration put before him that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snow melt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in virtually apocalyptic way. He wanted to protect an essentially worthless fish called a smelt by giving it less water. It didn't work, but didn't care about the people of California. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is the blame for this. On top of it all, no water for fire hydrants, no fighting planes, a true disaster. Handy went over this on Handy News on Wednesday's show, a little bit more in depth, and talked about that, like there was like a plane for dumping fire retardant or whatever, and California and someone else was supposed to fund it, and they decided not to, so they didn't have that. And because of how heavy the winds were, that's pretty much exactly what they needed, and they didn't have it because they eliminated that from the program. No water to the hydrants. Sounds familiar. And they just gave like a bunch of money and support to like Ukraine from the fire department, and I think the mayor's out of town or something. I don't know. It's just it is a mess. It is a hot mess, is what this is. And this is a tweet from Colin Rugg, good follow. It says, Donald Trump was mocked for sounding the alarm on the California water fire crisis during his interview with Joe Rogan. Turns out he was right. How many times have we said that? They were spying on my campaign. Oh, he's crazy. No, he wasn't. Trump spent nearly 7 minutes ranting about the issue, blasting Newsom for doing nothing to fix the problem. Trump specifically discussed the Californian Delta smelt controversy, where rainwater is wasted by being directed into the Pacific Ocean to protect a tiny fish. You know, in Los Angeles, you can't get proper amounts of water. In order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured into the Pacific. I got it all done. Nobody could believe it. It was all done. I said, I got it. You got so much water, all you have to do is sign. And Newsom didn't want to sign. These are Trump's words, obviously. Every time I go to California, I say, you have so much water. They don't know it. I'm telling you, people living in Beverly Hills, they turn off the water. Same thing with the electric. This is 6 minutes and 40 seconds long. Definitely will not be playing this, but I'll get it started right here.
Let me give you one that you may not know.
Okay.
Which I think you know everything, actually, as a student of yours. but water, you know, in Los Angeles, you can't get proper amounts of water.
Right.
And it's unbelievably expensive. And you might have a house in Beverly Hills, and they're actually thinking about rationing water. Can you believe it?
I could believe
it.
I was
in the farm court country with some of the congressmen. We're driving up a highway, and I say, how come all this land is so barren? It's farmland, and it looked terrible. It was just brown and bad. I said, but there's always that little corner that's so green and beautiful. They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north of water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. You got to see this. We're driving up, and I had never seen it before. It's like Iowa. It's the most fertile land. Iowa's blessed with great land. Idaho for a potato, right?
Yeah.
But they're just, by the way, some land is good for a potato, some land is good for corn.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut it there because, Trump kind of, goes on and on. But anyways, I'll link all this down in the show notes below so you can check those out. Because he's absolutely right. Again, I hate to be political on this, but it really only tends to lean one side. Democrats are so worried about, certain birds or fish or, lizards in, the Middle East or, whatever, that they will put human lives at risk to protect those and spend millions, if not billions of dollars to do that. So he's absolutely right for calling him out. He's absolutely right on a great way to prevent it. And what can be the icing on the cake here? What can really top it off just beautifully? Push us over the edge a little bit, maybe even. From Gateway Pundit, and of course this source comes from True Blood, or Pure Blood, not True Blood. It's a great show. Pure Blood Media Group pulled this from their site. So this is triple check for fact. It says, new Joe Biden announces another $500 million in military aid to Ukraine as California burns.
Dumbass.
Why? I mean, I get it. It was probably already on the agenda. I got to get all this money over there before Trump gets in. But when does reality set in? California is burning to the ground, which I don't know if Biden knows this, but California is one of the states in the United States of America. Love them or hate them, agree with them politically or not, they are one of our states. Ukraine is not. In fact, we still have folks here in Georgia that are struggling from the hurricanes. Of course, Tennessee, North Carolina, we know about. We don't hear about Georgia that often, to be fair. So I always want to make sure I mention that. But yeah, North Carolina, Tennessee. I mean, there's people like freezing to death in tents. I want to say I covered that not that long ago. And it's absolutely heartbreaking. But yeah, I won't go all into this, but it mentions a tweet down here. I'll just go ahead and jump over to the tweet from Joe Biden. It says, I am being frequently briefed on the wildfires in West Los Angeles. My team and I are in touch with the state and local officials, and I have offered any federal assistance that is needed to help suppress the terrible Pacific Palisades fire. Earlier tonight, FEMA approved a fire management assistant grant to support areas that are impacted and help reimburse the state of California for the immediate firefighting costs. My administration will do everything it can to support the response. I urge the residents of the Pacific Palisades and surrounding areas of Los Angeles to stay vigilant and listen to local officials. So this is, from my understanding, this is like what they did in Tennessee, in North Carolina, the FEMA grants, right? Something I'm very curious about because people mention this, and I hate thinking that this is a possibility. I hate thinking this way. But California is a very, very blue state. Very, very blue state. Now, there are pockets that aren't. And some people may argue with me and say it's actually a very red state. I've heard people say that. But it never goes that way, I guess is what I'm saying. How much quicker and how much more money are they going to get versus the Tennessee, North Carolina folks that tend to be more conservative? And again, guys, I hate thinking about that. But my antennas are up, and they have to be because of everything that's been going on. So I'm watching, and I'm curious, and I'm waiting. And I'm not the only one. First comment down here, look at my boy. My boy, third Railify. So how much are these FEMA grants? More than North Carolina got? More than Hawaii? Yeah, don't forget about Hawaii. FEMA is useless. That is Sean from Third Railify. I stream with him every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Linked down in the show notes to his channel. Absolutely love that guy. He is a bro. And he's absolutely right. This whole thing is a joke. I mean, FEMA's, didn't they say it a while back they were broke? They didn't have the money for another natural disaster. Here's another natural disaster. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Send more money to Ukraine to fix California? Because they sent money to Ukraine to fix North Carolina. The priorities of this administration have got me so pissed off. And I can even step back with my emotions when it comes to things like, oh, we passed this bill to spend money on, XYZ instead of ABC. It's like, oh, I wanted ABC, but XYZ won. Okay, cool, whatever. But when it comes down to human life, when it comes down to legal citizens in this country, we're putting everyone else first, America last, so to speak. It pisses me off. And that is why MAGA, not just Trump, but this whole MAGA movement is so huge, because it is America first. It's taking care of legal residents of this country. It's taking care of the 50 states of this country before anyone else. If we got room to let more in, let them in. If we've got more money that we can support somebody else and help them out, we can go do that. But we have to make sure that we are fed first. We are protected first. That's why MAGA, that movement, that Make America Great Again, that's why it has so much steam behind it. It's not just Trump, but he's Big Daddy right now. And we support him. We back it. We are excited about the future, because this ain't cutting it. All right, guys, very, very last segment that we're going to get in today. Appreciate you guys sticking with me. This comes from Bounding into Comics. It says DC Studios Superman is considered a mess with bad buzz by inside sources. Tell you what, before we actually get into the article, I mentioned Third Railify just a moment ago. I was over on his channel. I don't know what it was, 2 or 3 weeks ago. It was him, myself, and then a friend of the channel, Mike G. He was on there, and Mike worked in the industry a little bit. Actually, he worked with Marvel, and was even at the red carpet event for Endgame, and got to meet all the Avengers and work with some of the folks there and stuff. So we had like a legit pro that like knew the industry to that level, and me as an independent filmmaker, and then Sean as a Canadian, and we and we dove into the teaser trailer for the new Superman movie that came out, broke it down line by line, frame by frame, called out what we liked, what we didn't like. So I will link to that in the show notes below, because it is a very in-depth breakdown of that trailer. I mean, I think we pretty much took the whole show to break everything down and talk about it. And not only that, but I did do a reaction. I was going to do a reaction before that. That came up first. And then the end of the year happened and everything kind of got put on pause. And so I have now recorded a reaction to that teaser trailer for myself on my channel. That will be coming out probably in the next few days, in this upcoming week. So keep a lookout for that. That'll be coming out as well, just so you can get the reactions to the trailer. And of course, we talked about some rumors and whatnot of things that went into the making of the film, and the not the crew, but the cast or the characters and all this and that, and concerns. So yeah, go check those out. Back to the article here, again from Bounding into Comics. Nicholas Hoult, I've seen him in a few things. I think he's a fine actor. Not, someone I'd say like I'm his biggest fan, or I think he's the greatest actor of my lifetime or anything like that. But I've seen him, and he's been just fine in the stuff I've seen him in. I don't know if I love him as Lex Luthor, but we hadn't seen it yet. So, jury's out on that. But just in the images from like the trailer and stuff, I don't know. But again, I'm gonna try to insert my own opinion too much on this. Let's just read through this article right here. It says Superman's trailer didn't silence every single doubter, but it is doing well, having already amassed nearly 50 million views on YouTube alone. However, Warner Brothers executives above James Gunn may not have shaken off the jitters insider intel suspected before the trailer dropped online. According to Jeff Schneider on the Hot Mic podcast, the buzz is bad and worrying. I went to a dinner with a source who knew multiple people who had seen Superman. The buzz is not good. It's not me trying to take the movie down, he said via Cosmic Book News. I'm hearing bad things. I'm hearing you should be worried about things. Now, a lot of time between now and July 11th, a lot of things could happen. Sounds like James Gunn is aware of some of the feedback Schneider added. Sounds like THR is aware of some of the feedback, or they're just keeping that amazing buzz that studio would love to have out there in the Fortress of Solitude, he continued. Schneider told people to read between the lines regarding the Hollywood Reporter, who say, we've heard from multiple sources about one screening in particular on the lot, and with his close-knit crew of people he trusts. Their report goes on to say, we're keeping the buzz about the movie itself in our own Fortress of Solitude, but we can tell you that the movie will be doing a few days of additional shooting in Los Angeles in the near term. Reading between the lines, CBM assesses that Schneider is saying that obviously THR wouldn't keep things locked up in their Fortress of Solitude if what they knew about Superman is good news, hence it's bad news. Again, I won't insert too much of myself or my own opinion on this right quick, but Rachel Brosnahan, I remember seeing her in House of Cards. I thought she was phenomenal in that. I hadn't seen the Marvelous Miss Maisel or whatever it's called, but I've heard nothing but good things. I'm sure she's going to be great. It says, elsewhere, World of Real claims a rock-solid source told Schneider that James Gunn's films is a mess. Per WR, we heard from a rock-solid source that Superman, or at least the cut recently shown on the Warner lot, is kind of a mess. That's the truth from someone in the know, and right now, Warner is starting to get nervous about the film. Hot Mic co-host John Rocha supposedly heard from someone who saw Superman that its tone is similar to Captain America, the First Avenger, and The Mummy, the one starring Brendan Fraser that did well, not the 27 Tom Cruise one. Well, that's good. Schneider replied, that's bad, although both films did well and earned sequels. And every time I see this shot of him or him with that hair, it makes me think of Hassan Piker. You guys know who that is? Hassan Piker. I mention that every time I see it. I can't help it. It's just burned into my brain now. Let's see. Additionally, it said Nicholas Hoult is the standout of a film that tones down Gunn's brand of humor. VFX work was not finished, but that should be expected as it's still technically in post-production. Rocha explains his source thought the film was decent enough to satisfy fans. They think most people will be satisfied with the movie and it should be received well enough to continue Gunn's DCU, he said. Still, Schneider is skeptical, as his source warned him, your Superman reports are spot on. There's plenty of reason to be nervous, and I think that is it. And that was a cool shot in the trailer. I think everybody likes those slow motion, really cool shots. And, as someone who's done this, there's color in here that's, intended for specific purposes and balance and everything like that. But look, here's the thing. I'm willing to give it a chance because I do like the character of Superman. I like Superman films that have come out before in the past. Here's my problem. I don't think I trust or believe in James Gunn as much as some people do. While he has done some good stuff, I just don't know about this. Like Guardians of the Galaxy's goofy stuff, Peacemaker's goofy. What's the other one? Suicide Squad, goofy. And I feel like you can't be goofy with Superman. There can be humor. Sure. But you can't be goofy. And to me, James Gunn, I haven't seen him do anything that's not goofy. At least in the superhero genre. So we'll see. I'm a little worried about James Gunn. Not to mention that Warner Brothers and DC themselves don't exactly have the best track record either. So, we'll see. We've only got the teaser trailer so far, and then some word of mouth. rumors out there. So I'm sure they'll release some more trailers between now and July, of course. So I'll be looking for those. I'll probably do reactions to those and share those with you guys. But yeah, what do you think? Are you excited about the new Superman movie? Are you excited about this DCU that James Gunn is, behind and he's launching? Or are you skeptical a little bit, or are you just over it? Are you just over it? I think people are somewhere on that spectrum, right? You're either excited or you're over it, or you're somewhere in between, like being hopeful, concerned, or just don't even care, right? So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And if you've got any, heads up on this, heard anything, there's anything in the rumor mill that I missed, let me know, because I'm really interested, because again, I didn't need some Superman, and I would love to see a great Superman movie come out. So holla at your boy. Well, guys, that's the show. That's our first show back. Super excited to have you guys here with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please consider following the channel on your favorite social media. Links will be below in the show notes. You can pretty much follow me everywhere at the handle at My Morning Mayhem. That's at My Morning Mayhem, because the Morning Mayhem is one character too long. So you can find me at My Morning Mayhem on pretty much any social media platform that exists or will ever exist, I would say. So find me there. Remember that we do have our regular weekly shows Friday mornings at 10 a.m. unless announced otherwise. From that show, we will cut out these segments and release them individually throughout the week. Sometimes mixed in with those will be some reaction videos. And I've also started cutting some shorts or reels or whatever you want to call them, and been releasing those out too and having a little fun with it. And of course, don't forget, the first Monday of every month is our Monday Night Mayhem live streams. And I always have guests on, have an amazing panel every single time that I've done it so far. I will not disappoint this year. We're going to get bigger, badder, awesomer, more overwhelmed. The whole screen is going to be filled with people. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait to see what this year has in store for us. But yeah, so if you stayed this far, please be sure to hit that like button, share it if you loved it, and if you want to see more from me and from the people I'll have on and the stuff that we're going to cover, consider hitting that subscribe button. Again, we're on our march to 1,000 YouTube subs. We're getting really, really close to that. So consider subscribing. If you're following somewhere else, Rumble, some of those places, you will follow instead of subscribe. So, consider doing that, helping a brother out. And that's the show. Guys, Happy New Year. Welcome back. And we'll catch you on the next one.
You ever see like a girl, maybe it's a Saturday night, and she thinks she's hot shit, and she's drunk, and she's coming from the bar, and she's real sloppy like, and she's like, I'm a 10, and you're like, bitch, you're mid.
Damn.